Pepper was finding it hard to eat. Unfortunately, as good as the meat-based delicacies in front of him looked, he still couldn't force himself to enjoy them. He had this image in his head where the manservants, beneath their illusions, beneath the tight fabrics that covered them, were just rotten undead, like the ones that had devoured the poor John Retchins. He imagined the corpses preparing the food in the kitchens, placing it on the plates with their putrid hands. It turned his stomach to think about it. Ernon, constantly checking the uncomfortable expressions of his bald companion, was starting to lose whatever appetite had remained after that business with the night glass. Lismond, having observed his friend's interactions, also found himself questioning his supper. He did not want to offend their host, but neither did he want to ignore the worrying signs he could see on Pepper's face.
So Birion the Old, a Solarian human, is now supposedly one of the greatest moon wizards alive. What a joke,
spoke Gorith, who was currently deep in conversation with the Lich as the others ate, or at least attempted to. Yosomold was getting the wizard up to date by informing him of the important kings, priests and wizards of the world.
He is not a bad wizard, old friend. He most likely has some blue blood ancestry, and he has even managed to build up a new, albeit smaller, moon spire in Solaria. I have been in touch with him for the last few decades.
I see. Do you know of this wizard priest?
Asked Gorith, suddenly turning to Ernon. The Sun Priest, caught by surprise, nervously responded.
Yes. Birion the Old is known by all. He is the only man allowed to teach moon magic in Solaria, and he has a tower there, the Tower of Wizardry, where people from all over the world come to learn. And the Sun Priests tolerate him? Yes, he is disliked by the two orders, but he is tolerated nevertheless. I see, commented Gorith thoughtfully. Yosomold, how powerful is this wizard? What part of the arts interest him the most?
He is powerful enough, I know that much. He has a deep understanding of space and its shaping. I have heard his moonspire contains multiple lunar spaces. He has also dabbled in the creation of automata. You two would probably get along.
I somehow doubt it,
said Gorith, with a slight touch of annoyed irony.
Ah, my dear Gorith, you are probably right. He would, however, love to get a chance to talk to you, I am sure of that. The man has long been begging me to reveal the secrets of lichdom.
Is he able to create moon gates?
That is not known to me, but he does have an active one in his tower.
And what are his motives? What drives the man?
Always so many questions, Gorith. I have never been as good at reading others as you are, my friend, so I cannot say for certain, but what I can tell you is that he looks upon our kind favourably, and does not hold his own in high regard.
I know the archetype. I can work with that,
concluded the wizard. As the Blue Bloods spoke, the Crypt Cleaners merely picked at their food suspiciously, taking care to carefully taste each nibble for signs of rot or contamination. They listened to the powerful wizards exchanging knowledge, not knowing what part they would be playing in the days to come.
Any other moon wizards of consequence?
I fear there aren't many of us left. Some live in the wildwoods, but none there are particularly inspiring. We are clearly a dying race.
Thoughtful, Yosomold continued.
Then there are the Hags of Ogretree. They are a group of blue blood women who have made their home at our ancestral tree. Their matriarch is a powerful moon wizardess, Nolin the Cruel's niece, if I am not mistaken.
So, Nolin's suicidal bloodline is still around. What irony. I suppose I will have to contact her then.
I would advise against that, my friend. That woman disturbs me, and what she is doing escapes my understanding completely. Western Oestra is now riddled with monsters of her own creation, each more disturbing than the next.
Lismond had been keeping his ears open, hoping to find information that could become of use in the following days. The mention of his native Oestra had especially set him on guard. He knew of the monsters Yosomold was mentioning. His father and him had seen several of the malformed beasts, including the infamous hogworm of Limbog. After some time, Gorith noticed the uncomfortable faces his followers were continually wearing, in particular Pepper and Ernon. Mildly troubled by this anomaly, he spoke.
What is the matter now? Is it the thralls, the manservants that are bothering you?
Are they undead, my lord?
Let out Pepper, unable to hold it in any longer, and causing Ernon to choke on some of the wine he was drinking.
Of course they are. I forget your people are not familiar with the customs of Blue Blood society any longer. Beneath their illusion, they are reanimated corpses, just like the ones you saw in my crypt. Holy sun! Has our food been prepared and served by the hands of corpses?
Asked Ernon, horrified.
I would not worry about that. Thralls are very clean. Cleaner than most living servants, I would wager. See, beneath their illusion, they are covered in an oiled fabric that prevents smells and disease from escaping. The illusion. It looks very lifelike,
commented Lismond, trying to compliment the hosts and clear any offence the priest's comments might have caused.
I thank you, kind servant. I have taken great effort in making them look real. Each illusion has its own unique story. Every wrinkle in their face has a reason to be.
Yosomold's dominion over illusions is unparalleled. It is a privilege to see his work. You will find no better illusions than his,
added Gorith with touches of praise in his voice.
Such flattery. It means a lot coming from you, my dear Gorith,
thanked Yosomold before adding,
and this work you see demonstrated in my thralls is nothing compared to what I have achieved in my sensoriums. Mayhap I will show you on the morrow.
I was hoping we could use the day to discuss my spell, Yosomold. I do not intend to stay here for long. I have yet to recover all of my possessions and ensure their safety.
Oh, that is understandable. Well, perhaps Ara, my guest, can show your servants my sensoriums. I'm sure it will keep them entertained for a long time as we speak of our important matters.
That is fine by me.
Pardon my ignorance, my lord, but what is a sensorium?
Asked Lismond when he saw an opening. He was starting to see the direction in which Gorith was manoeuvring the conversation.
A sensorium is a room where one immerses oneself fully in an illusion. It is the canvas upon which I express my art, responded Yosomold with delight. My work centers around the ephemeral nature of meaning, you see. Each soul under the moon carries infinite meaning, enough meaning to justify the ending of this world if one was to look deep enough. Yet, by simply looking the other way, all the powerful significance can vanish into nothing and become unworthy of even the lifting of one's finger. It is as if meaning was a beautiful illusion, a projection of the soul that makes us go forward. Is it not fascinating? Yes, that sounds interesting. I do not expect your kind to understand, continued the Lich with a patronizing smile. You do not have the depth or profundity of thought that we possess, but I do know you can still feel emotions with intensity. For this reason alone, I think you shall still be able to extract pleasure from my work. Take your friend, for example, he continued, pointing at a worried and now surprised Pepper. How many are the hopes he carries? How strong are they? Mayhap he dreams of a place where he can finally be safe from the dangers and complexities of a world he cannot grasp. And his friends, the swordsman and the priest, care deeply for him and would greatly suffer from his death, or even offer their own lives in exchange for his.
Ernon cleared his throat nervously. The bald thief was listening in a transfixed state of confusion, slowly sitting up straighter in his chair as he realised Yosomold's poetic words were focused on him. Lismond and Ernon looked at each other with awkwardness.
And to think of how his mother loved him dearly and made such sacrifices for him, and how his grandmother before died protecting her daughter so that he could be here now, and how an unbroken chain of ancestors, all with their own hopes and dreams, made sacrifices and survived through terrible ordeals. To think that you, a humble servant, are carrying all those hopes and sacrifices, all those dreams, slowly garnered together from the dawn of time, all on your own fragile, servile shoulders. You give this world meaning, humble servant. Without you, what is the point?
Pepper had never been spoken to like this before. Overwhelmed by such a torrent of profound imagery, he felt as if he was finally getting the recognition he deserved. He was finally understood. It was a deeply emotional experience, and he could feel a shudder on his breath and tears starting to form in his eyes.
Yet still, if you were to look the other way, Yosomold, to extract yourself from the cornucopia of meaning my bold servant can apparently be, you would see that he is also, simultaneously, worth nothing. That he is but another noisy farm animal, like the pig or the chicken.
Interjected Gorith, completing the passionate speech with his contrasting, emotionless voice.
I could not have expressed it better myself, old friend. Such is the fascinating duality of meaning.
Pepper had felt Yosomold's words to his core, and they caused somewhat of an existential awakening, but upon hearing Gorith's contrasting viewpoint, it felt like the rug was suddenly ripped out from under him. That rising feeling of wonder stopped dead in its tracks, leaving the thief confused and lost, and nervously drumming his fingers on his legs.
Good servants, you should know your master is also a great artist himself. We have collaborated together on occasion. His work does encroach upon mine.
I still consider Idler's Phantasm to be one of my greatest works to date.
It is a masterpiece, Gorith, and I shall forever be grateful for it. There is not a night where I do not pay her a visit.
Lismond was now certain the wizard had been manipulating the conversation to ensure they were correctly positioned for tomorrow. When he considered all he had seen, he could not help but feel a strange mix of fear and respect for the man. While he feared where Gorith would take them, the wizard had already performed many feats, which included besting the great statue automaton. He looked now to the blue blood, feeling a rising sense of faith in the wizard's abilities.